Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist. If you are new to my channel, welcome to the family. I am honored to have you. If you are returning, welcome back. I have missed you. Okay, guys, so this is the new reading, the new series called Rising Sign Messages. I'd actually toggled for quite a bit about whether I wanted to start a secondary channel for these or if I wanted to include these on my pick a cards. And the funniest thing about that is as soon as I decided I'm going to include these into my current channel, that's when my whole channel just kind of flip-flopped in energy. It was like, okay, I'm no longer torn between. Now I know where I'm going. And that's really, really important here because this message here is for Libra risings. And this is going to be the first of these messages. However, this is also your season, Libra. I did do the intro in a video and put it out yesterday, which was the 18th. I'm filming this on the 19th. But in that, I talked about Mabon and Ostara. Depending on where you're living, if you're in the northern or the southern hemispheres, you're either celebrating Mabon, which is the autumnal equinox, or you're celebrating Ostara, which is the spring equinox. Both of these in their own way hold the same kind of energies. Both of these seasons are about something coming to fruition or something coming to be planted, depending on which one you're looking at. Mabon is about harvest. It is the second harvest festival, or Sabbat, and it is the true season of harvest, but Mabon is actually marked by when Persephone goes into the underworld. That is when her mother, sometimes it's Sarah, sometimes it's Demeter, it just kind of depends on which mythology you're reading, starts to withdraw her agricultural energies and nourishment from the world because her daughter is now gone. And it is very hard for her. That is the moment that constitutes the coming of the cold season and the sun going down. Sorry, guys. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know I'm kind of a perfectionist. My dog and cats were wrestling and just kind of moved around some of my set. Anyway, for Ostara, I apologize. Ostara actually marks the opposite. Ostara is when Persephone comes back from the underworld. So if we think about it that way, we can look at the northern and southern hemispheres very similar to Persephone's journey. When in the northern hemisphere, we're experiencing the darker season, the colder season, the winter season. In the southern hemisphere, they're experiencing the summer, the spring and the summer, and the warmth and the longer days. And in that way, we can look at the story of Persephone and see that she never really left. She was never really gone from the world. She just, traveled south for the winter. But Libras, if you're a Libra rising, the reason why I'm talking about these things is because sometimes let's talk about what Libra rising really means. So a rising sign is when the sun hits the horizon on the day that you were born. The day, the time, the place that you were born constitutes what your rising sign is going to be. That point in your chart is the natural essence of your spirit made manifest into this world. That is where you shine yourself out the most. Now, Libras, you go one of two ways. You want balance and you want harmony, and you can do it at any cost, whether that is a cost to you or a cost to everyone else. And it really depends on where you're at as far as your shadow work and your awareness and your personal accountability. The reason why this is so important is because as you can see, I have 4 piles set out. I said we were going to focus on four areas of your life: yourself, your spirituality, romance and love, and career. We're also going to talk about these in terms of the weeks during Libra season, during Mabon, as well as the moon cycles. So we're really going to be working on unifying your soul, your emotions, your ego, your shadow, and who you came here to be. Libras, you are the number one who thinks first and foremost about the relationships that you have in your life. And when those relationships are not going well, your life will feel as though it's not going well. You can almost feel at times as though you are the exact opposite of everybody else because you crave relationships and you crave connection, but you want your individuality and you want yourself to be a focus. And at the same time, you can feel as though that is an incredibly selfish act, but it's not. And that's something that you're here to learn. The shadow side of you often comes out in this energy of I'm being selfish, I'm being self-centered. And it's about recognizing when you are in a state of self-love. This leads us directly into the first pile. So as we're going to note here, this first pile is the new moon in Libra. Then we're going to go to the first quarter moon, which falls in Capricorn, the full moon in Aries, and then the third quarter moon in Cancer. Now for you, Libra, because this is your season, this is your first house, your fourth house, your seventh house, and your 10th house. This means that these are set specifically for the house energies, and we're going to talk about the moon cycles, but I also took notes on what the actual moon astrologically, the phases look like, so that we can talk about what the real essence of it is. So when we're talking about this first new moon, we're talking about a new moon in Libra. That is a new beginning for you. This isn't about a new beginning for your relationships. Everybody talks about Libra in the 7th house because Libra rules the 7th house, but Libra in your chart is the first house. This is about a balance internally. This moon cycle, and this is collectively, this moon cycle is not meant to be focally outward. You're not supposed to be shifting this new moon cycle outward. It's an internal rebalancing, an internal harmonizing. And that makes it a time of transformation of self. And when I was sitting with the energies, Spirit was really strong about how this definitely needs to be applied in this way in whatever area of life or focus it's coming through. For you, Libras, it's coming through directly on you. So say, for instance, this was a career-focused moon, which it's not for you guys, it's a self-focused. But if it was career-focused, then this would be all about transforming your inner world in terms of your career. Your overall energy right now is focused on the abundance mindset. That's what your overall Libra season energy is this abundance mindset. So as we're going to be moving into this new moon in Libra energy, so from September 22nd, when we enter Libra season, until October 1st, with the pinnacle being September 25th, this is the energy that you're going to be working with. So this is what you really want to focus on for yourself. With this new moon, the reason why I talked about self-love in terms of relationships is because we have this crossover with your 12th house, and you're just coming out of a 12th house season with Virgo. So that means that a lot of internal feelings and belief systems and ways of moving in the world and ways of perceiving yourself really have really come up to the surface for you to view and to work through during Virgo season. So if you're a Libra rising, you likely are going to feel this level of relief, but also kind of a sense of exhaustion is what I'm feeling once Virgo season ends, because you've been deep in the throes of that 12th house energy. This new moon on September 25th actually has the sun and the moon in Libra, but it also has Mercury which is still retrograded, and Venus in Virgo. So you do have a 12th and first house crossover. This is helping you more than you realize. This is helping you because all 4 of these major personal planets are also coming into a trine harmony with Pluto and Capricorn. That is coming into a trine with your 4th house. And that is your spirituality focused area right now. So right now, your spiritual self is getting this overhaul. And you're doing it by realizing how to let go of the constraints of always focusing on the outside world, always focusing on what everyone else needs, and not spending enough time saying, what do I need? What do I need to make myself feel better? What do I need in order to be balanced? What do I need in order to feel harmony? That is personal accountability, spiritual responsibility. And then at the end of it, because we have that 12th house energy, but even collectively, because we have Virgo still in there, this is all about surrender. And I just saw 11:44 on my clock. So now that we know what the moon cycle is going to do, let's take a look at the cards. I'm actually going to take the other ones off here, and I'll timestamp everything for where we're at for like the intro or the energy assessment, then the readings for all of this. And this is more me notating it for myself when I do my editing, but let's take a look at the oracle cards first. So we have the card 29 with seedlings. I love that. That's an 11 energy. Then we've got last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less and feel more. We have the card 21, guide with the illuminated path. There's a wolf here. If you guys can hear my cat meowing, let me know in the comment section below because I think that would be really funny. That's my big fat cat, Bella. She bellows from downstairs when she finds like the boys' Nerf darts. It's so funny. Then we have the card 8 with teacher and learning or a new path. And then we have, and I'm gonna give a nod to Baba Jolie messages here because she uses these Eloquy oracle cards, and I actually am going to use them in the same way she does, where she uses it as the one who instead of she who, because this is non-gender specific. This is just energy. So it's the one who sees, Makita, observe, perceive, and scrutinize. Okay, so these are your oracle energies. A lot of golds, a lot of greens, a lot of those higher heart chakra, or the higher chakras, the heart, the crown, the higher heart for sure. Even the soul star chakra. There is a lot of deep spiritual essence here going on with you guys. Then we have the card 15 with the master, which is also the devil card. The card 14 with temperance. That's interesting. And then the 3 of candles. Okay. So Libras, as you're moving into this new moon season, the first thing that I want to talk about is the master card. Because this master card to me comes in with the one who sees. This is about you learning how to actually see more about the way that your mind has been playing tricks on you. Remember that you're coming out of that 12th house energy, and 12th house energy has a lot of devil energy to it. It really does carry that heaviness with it because that 12th house energy wants you to see all the things that you're burying deep within you because it's time for you to take it out of the darkness, out of hiding. That's one of the biggest places in the chart where shadow work comes in. This is why it's considered the house of hidden enemies. I personally think that the only enemy that we have that's hidden is the shadow when the shadow is imbalanced. That's my personal belief. But as you can see here, with this new moon phase and you focusing a lot on allowing yourself to really transform spiritually, to really embrace your spiritual calling, which is what I'm seeing here. It's about getting back to your heart, getting back to your essence, realizing that you have already been doing so much work because you have been guiding yourself through such a dark period of time. And when you do that, what you're actually doing, and this is what I'm getting from this teacher card, what you're actually doing is you're teaching yourself how to walk a new path, and don't panic. Remember, this is self-focused. This is not about the outside world. Walking a new path internally, we're focusing on the abundance mindset. This is about how you need to see or how you are working on seeing your own worth in terms of the things that you do in your life. This is about the worth that you have and the seeds that you have planted internally to realize that you can take any kind of mindset. You can observe it, you can scrutinize it, you can change it, you can meld it, you can mold it, you can turn it into something that brings you into a state of understanding all aspects of everything because you're allowing yourself to really hear from within. And when you do that, it's like you're illuminating yourself in a whole new way. And I'm looking at this 3 of candles, which is the 3 of wands. And when you think about the 3 of wands, that's about waiting for your ship to come in. But what I'm looking at here is there are the red candles and it's on top and it's bleeding down into his eyes. To me, this is your third eye is grounding, it's rooting. And that says you need to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, what is opening up, because whatever seeds have been planted internally for yourself, they're growing now. And as they grow, it actually helps root these visions, this perception, this awareness, this observation that you have. As you do that, the path forward for yourself is going to become ever more illuminated, ever more clear. Remember, Libras, and I keep hearing this over and over, so your guides really they really want you to understand. Number 1, you're not backwards, you're not oppositional, you are exactly as you're meant to be. And number 2, it is okay to prioritize yourself. Even when you're in a loving and committed relationship, it's okay to prioritize yourself. Even if you're not and you're looking for love, it is number 1 for you to focus on yourself first. It doesn't make you selfish. It shows the world that you know your worth. And that's going to be very important here. That's what you need to transform. Whether it came from your childhood or not, you're literally surrendering things that you need to surrender, emotions that you've been holding on to for so long. This darkness that you've been walking through, you're now surrendering all of those mindsets so that they can be alchemized because the future is coming in and it's coming in hot and fast for you guys. This abundance mindset here, this is telling me that you are the one that has the power to change it. And if you look, we've got this abundance mindset that is your overall energy, but then we've got the devil card. And he dresses up as the devil and he really sits in his kitchen and or in his living room and he really enjoys the Sanderson sisters, even though he's got a wife. It makes her jealous. It's about the choices and the actions that we take. But if you look at it, now you're really focusing these choices and these actions. You're really getting them narrowed down into what they need to be, what they are meant to be here. And from that, you're actually seeing on a higher level now. And you did that by taking the things that you have been perceiving within yourself, illuminating a path forward, and then literally planting seeds of divine abundance and an abundance mindset. And it's about your own personal worth. That's so huge. It's so huge. And I am trying to help you understand, this is what you want to be focusing on, really, really transmuting here, but you're already on this path, Libra. So as we move forward, as you move into this new moon phase, a really great thing for you to do is sit down with your emotions, sit down with your guides, sit down and actually observe your inner world. That's going to be different for each one of you, how you go about doing that. But let yourself really get in deep and find out what it is that you're trying to hear from within, what your heart is trying to speak to you about. And when that comes in for you, what you're going to be able to recognize in that moment is the ways in which your soul and your ego really do find a harmony together when you find an inner balance. Okay. Now that we have shifted through the new moon, I'm going to clear this up and then we're going to jump into the first quarter moon in Capricorn. All right, I am back. We got it all cleaned up and I have your first quarter moon in Capricorn. So the first quarter moon is that initiation phase. Now we are in a cardinal season, which means that this is all very divine masculine led energy as it is. But now we've got this first quarter moon in Capricorn. Capricorn as an earth sign is actually divine feminine energy. So we've got the initiation phase of the moon, which is divine masculine, the divine feminine of Capricorn in the fourth house, which is also the mothering energy. That's the house of the roots. So we're looking down into your spirituality here. This first quarter moon collectively is initiating a new emotional response by finding the triggers. The chart for this is filled with tension. The moon has squares with the sun, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune. It's got a trioctile with Uranus and an octile with Saturn. This is going to be an emotionally triggering time. And Libras, it's gonna be doubly emotionally triggering because it's gonna have everything to do with your roots, your resources, your family, your past, your childhood, your ancestors, your generational karma, all of these things. But what came through the strongest is this is all about accountability, but it's through that inner awareness that was worked on through that new moon phase, surrendering what came before through understanding the internal and emotional cause and effect of certain triggers and responses. So say you go through something and your initial response is to get angry. And you have noticed now that when you get angry and you respond, it reminds you very much of something that your parents did or your grandparents or someone down your family line. And then you beat yourself up. And then it starts this vicious cycle all over again where you have to learn to stop reacting that way. This moon phase is going to feel that way. But we do have we have two moments here or two places within the chart that are going to alleviate this, that are going to bring freedom. We've got Black Moon Lilith, which is out of bounds right now, and it hits the anaretic or the 29th degree of Cancer, which is a magical release. It literally is this like magical essence of the soul, of the emotions, to release from ancestral and generational patterns of subjugation. So anything that has been making you feel small, feel silenced, feel as though you can't share your emotions in the physical world, this Black Moon Lilith energy is really triggering that to help break you free of it so that you can see your own strength. With Mercury, in this case, even though the moon is in that tension with Mercury, Mercury is harmonizing with Uranus and Pluto. That makes this a very deeply transformative, innovative, creative communication from the divine in a much more rooted manner. I have had Charlie and the Chocolate Factory stuck in my head, and especially A World of Your Imagination when I was preparing for this reading. Mercury making this trine with Uranus and Pluto as Mercury is actually stationing to go direct again. feels like the golden ticket energy to this moon phase. And this is all about your spirituality. So this is a deep energy of really, truly breaking your spirit and your emotions free. This is such a beautiful, beautiful blessing for you, Libras. It's amazing. So let's take a look at your cards. Again, we're going to start with the Oracle cards and then we'll get into the tarot. So we have the card 5 and family. Holy buckets. I promise you guys, I don't look at these cards ahead of time. So when they come up, I am shocked. This is your 4th house. So this is your family house. This is crazy. So then we have the last quarter moon in Sagittarius with practice gratitude. And again, remember how I said this was about communication from the divine in a much more rooted manner. We have some major, major rooting energies here. Then we've got the card 40 with balance, stability, and standing firm. And if that isn't your energy, I don't know what is, because Libras, that is literally what you're here to find. The card 19 with letting go of urgency, surrender, freedom from time constraints. This surrender energy is so strong. I'm sorry, guys. Like, these cards are just blowing my mind now that we're getting deeper into the energies. And then we have she, or the one who yearns. And it says Desiree, yearn, longing, and pine for. This letting go of urgency and the one who yearns are so similar, but you can actually see the moon phases. We've got the last quarter moon in both of these. So this is telling me that somewhere within you have had this sense of, I really want to find balance. I really want my own family. I really want this to be the way that my family life is. And that's going to look different for every one of you. But when I see this letting go of urgency, and you know what? The calendar on there says November. So, and it's got the 17th here. So November 17th might be significant for you guys. November 19th might be significant for you guys. We are working on October 2nd here, but the next moon phase is October 17th. That is the counterbalance to this for your 10th house energy. So this may have something to do with the way the moon works, because when that first quarter moon comes in, and especially after you guys have been going through this 12th house season, even as you're moving through your first house, you're still going to want to really take a break. You're going to want to rest. You're going to want this balance. So the best thing, that if you're feeling this way during this first quarter moon, it's about balancing the emotions and the actions that you take. Because when you're focusing on your spirituality and you're deep down into that 4th house energy, the best thing that you can do is be there for you. And I am saying this as a mom. I am saying this as a wife. I am saying this as an entrepreneur. I'm saying this as an author and as a tarot reader. The best thing that you can do when you're working through the moon phases and through this energy, and especially after a 12th house season, the best thing that you can do for yourself when the moon is taking up residence in your 4th house is take care of yourself. Find the little things to be grateful for. Find the things that you can surrender. Find the things that you can say, okay, this is what I need. This is the help that I need. And then ask for it and trust that that help will come in. Let's take a look at your tarot cards. We have the 4 of water, or the 4 of cups. And again, I've got so much Virgo energy with this. Wow, the 6 of water, or the 6 of cups, and then the 6 of earth. This is a deeply, deeply divine feminine energy here. But if you look at the 4 of cups in this one, or the 4 of water, and then you look at the 6 of water, it's almost like he's looking in the mirror and he's looking for his other half, he's looking for the reflection of himself, but he's looking in a mirror. And what you want to be doing is you want to be looking for your reflection in the outside world. Because when you look in the mirror, it's based off of whatever your perception is. Now, I'm actually seeing this as kind of like your divine masculine is looking for your divine feminine. Internally is looking for your divine feminine. And the reason for that is because there's this deep calling to bring that rebalance in. you guys have the balance card and you have the 6 of Earth or the 6 of Pentacles, which is everything. It's about give and take. It's about balance, which to me, every time I touch this energy and I think about the fact that we're working through your 4th house, this is saying, and with the 4th house, guys, just FYI, we've got family and we've got the 6 of Cups, which is the card that talks about the past and those memories of the past. What I'm picking up here the most is with this energy, all the tensions, all the emotional tensions that you feel that have been coming up, that have been coming out. The biggest thing that you can do to find balance is to recognize that you are not your family. You are a product of it. You have grown through being part of the family, but you are your own person. See the benefit of who you are in terms of the ways that you grew up and the lessons that you learned and the ways in which you have grown on your own. Also see how amazing you are if you have a family of your own with building the family that you have built despite all of the past. Sometimes we have to look directly at our past self in order to understand that it's time to release that and to really harness our own heart. And as you practice this gratitude and you let go of feeling like I have to do, and you recognize, you know what, the energies right now are just telling me to rest. They're telling me to be strong within myself and to know that I need to take this time for me, to take this time for my family, to take this time to get rooted, to get grounded, to understand, and then to release those patterns where I felt as though I couldn't this or I couldn't that. And all these patterns that left me in this state of longing and yearning for this freedom from time constraints, this freedom and stability and this balance and this harmony. Let all of that come through. Let that tension really work its way through your system and just surrender to it completely, and then find the depths of gratitude that you have within you for that moment, for all the moments. Because that gratitude that you have, that gratitude that's there, that is really truly going to set the tone for the rest of the season. I have always said Capricorn energy is water and earth. It just is. It's the sea goat. This is about knowing the depths of your own emotions, but also knowing that you can balance those out and climb the highest mountain. You can go to the depths of the water, but you can come to the highest of mountains as well. You have this ability within you. And it comes from the family line that you were born into, regardless of whether you actually resonate with your family anymore or not. There are blessings for all of us in the families that we were born into. Sometimes it takes longer to see it, especially when you go through really deeply karmic issues. I know I personally have been down that road. And I want to tell you Libras, to please trust when I say, no matter how karmic it is, when you heal it, you move beyond it, and it is relieving, and it is your golden ticket out. Spend some time, spend this week with spirit between October 2nd and October 9th. Spend this time with spirit, because what you're going to be learning during this is how to surrender certain things, how to practice gratitude, how to find this balance and this harmony, how to really move through these emotions that you have been needing and wanting and longing to move through. Because when you move through them, then you're going to understand what it is that it's time to release internally when this full moon comes up. It is our next phase. But it also helps you to really get into a state of love, and then the focus starts turning outward. So I'm going to clear these off, and we're going to get into the full moon in Aries on October 9th. It's your 7th house and the romance section of this. All right, I am back. We have the cards for the full moon in Aries. This is October 9th. It's going to hit in your 7th house. That is romance and love focused. All right, guys, I am loving the energy of this full moon in Aries because there truly is very minimal tension energies for us to be working through. It is the perfect moon phase for a whole new chapter. This is going to be talking about the area of your commitments, your relationships, your business partnerships. This is hitting your 7th house. It is hitting the house that you naturally have rulership in. So this is a house that is naturally familiar to you, and you know how to find balance in this area. This full moon in Aries collectively is giving us this awareness that the right actions taken lead to the right results every single time. Creative innovation of self-expression brings out harmony. Soul level, emotional, deep healing of our self and spirit are all incorporated in this full moon in Aries. So before we get into your cards, the suggestions that I had received from Spirit and downloaded was to try shamanic fire meditations, violet flame purifications, call in Archangel Zadkiel. He is amazing for grace and mercy, and he works with the violet flame. He is actually one of my Reiki guides, and I love his energy. So I will always say call in Archangel Z because I love him. This energy is the essence of the Phoenix rising energy. It is so potent within this full moon. And if you guys can't hear the excitement in my voice for this full moon, it really is the Phoenix rising from the ashes. It's like the embers are falling away. All of this is focusing on the transformational power of harmonic balance of the heart center and heart-centered communication. So the greatest message that I got from this full moon is healing the soul through opening to the beauty of unconditional love. And I don't know that there is a moon phase that I have seen in a long time that does not feel so uplifting and so beautiful. And everyone, I want you to remember, everyone is going to have their own perception. I do all of my stuff with a balance of the scientific aspect and the wisdom of the traditional way. And then I let the energies come in. I read the energies of the planets. I channel the energies of the planets, and I work with spirit and the planets in my own unique way. So when I am telling you that this is the way that the energy feels to me, this is how my translator in my brain is translating the energies for you guys. If you go to someone else and they say, this is what you're going to be dealing with, I want you to remember to use your discernment for what feels accurate to what you're going to experience. I don't know why I needed to put that disclaimer out there for you guys, but I imagine it has something to do with some of you going and seeing multiple readers during this time frame. So just maybe bookmark this so that you can come back to it. It might help. I'm going to take one moment. I got to let Willow out to go to the bathroom because she just woke up. Okay, my loves, I'm back. It's never a dull day around here with 3 dogs, 2 cats, 3 kids, and a husband. Never dull. All right, so let's take a look at the energies, the oracle energies of this full moon in Aries for you guys. Remember, we're on the love train now. So we have the card 15 with self-mastery. I love this. I love this energy for you guys. Whoo, buddy. Oh man, this is soul star chakra. This is high level self-mastery. Actually, I think is this your sacral? No, it is. It's your soul star. I'd have to look it up. But it definitely doesn't feel sacral. It feels gold. It feels high level. This just feels way higher than your sacral right now. I meant solar plexus. My guides are like, no, you mean solar. And I was like, I do mean solar. So there's something here the mastery of self for this is there's something bigger. You guys may experience activations in your hands, in your palms, and in the base of your feet. If you feel tingling or kind of like a swirling energy, you may have activations of healing energy going on. You may start to see auras. You may have moments in which you feel very expansive while being very rooted in your body. All of that is coming through. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't even. New moon in Libra, know you are loved. We are on the love train here. We are on the love. Sorry. I had like Come On Ride the Train, the choo-choo train, playing through my head all of a sudden. I was dancing and then I realized I apologized to you guys and that was pointless. And if you heard that, that would be Bella. Bella. Okay, so then we've got the card 36 with duality, many meanings and misunderstandings. Don't panic. I'm actually getting like a Shakespearean and a Hamlet vibe. So have you guys been watching Hamlet prior to watching this reading? Or have you? My gosh. 29 with connections, partnership, contract, and commitment. We are in your 7th house, guys. You know, you got 29 in seedlings before as well. So there are a lot of synchronicities. Wow. And then the one who becomes Eterna, metamorphosis, transcend, and journey. And this energy, I was trying to kind of step aside from it. And of course, any reader will tell you as soon as you decide that you're not going to mention something, the cards will come up and be like, no, you need to mention it. Because with this self-mastery card, I was getting a lot of like starseed energy, like huge starseed awakening, starseed ascension energy. And these are things that I can talk about a little bit. I haven't done a lot of research into it. I know that I've experienced certain things, but I'm still working through the essence of the things that I'm experiencing on a starseed level. So it's going to take me a little bit longer. As always, I 100% suggest Lexi the Leo. She is amazing when it comes to starseed energies. I also know Rosology has some really amazing starseed messages as well. I want to say maybe ASO Tarot has some. I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say I've seen one of hers. But we're working with this full moon energy. Okay. As a Libra, duality is something that you're familiar with because Libra, you're the scales. So if the scales are imbalanced, you can feel as though everything that you do or everything that is done around you is being misunderstood. This card also talks about the understanding of the nature of all things and all beings and all places and knowing that there is duality in everything. We live in a world of duality. This duality is something that you're learning how to master. This me versus commitments, me versus partnerships, me versus what I need versus what my relationship needs. You're learning how to, instead of view it as duality, you're learning how to really get in touch with those connections from a state of self-love. Now, remember, this is all about healing the soul through opening to the beauty of unconditional love. So as soon as you step into this energy of knowing that you're loved, that self-mastery really helps you get into this metamorphosis, this transcendent journey. Shamanic journeying is coming through so very strongly with you guys. You may want to look those up. I know they have a bunch of videos on YouTube, but some of those journeys can be done with other people. You may, if you are in a committed relationship, talk to your partner about doing a shamanic journey meditation together. I think that would really help you guys. Alternately, if you're not in a loving and committed relationship and that's what you're looking for, these journeys can help you understand those inner places within you where you're not fully attuned to your own emotional awareness. is what I'm picking up. All right, so let's take a look at your tarot cards. Oh my gosh. It's the same number too. Oh my goodness. We've got the card 15 with Master, the card 8 for success and growth, the card 3 with reach out, and then the card 6 with healing begins. We literally have all the chakras on the board here. Like, you guys are universally healing. This is why I said this moon phase is so exciting. This is the success and growth. It's the 8 of spirit. This is, you can see it as the 8 of pentacles or the 8 of, actually, I think it's considered the 8 of wands or cups. Nope, wands. Either way, we're gonna leave that aside. We're just gonna focus on what the cards are showing us. Look, we've got the higher heart chakra. He is the master of his own emotional awareness. I literally said reaching out and asking for help. This is all of this here. Everything that you've been doing is going to culminate in this moon phase. Everything you've been working on, all the healing you've been doing, this is your culmination point. Now, when I talk about culmination point, I'm talking about the point in which the energies are the highest. That means that the best thing for you to do is to release any doubts, any fears, any insecurities, any duality of the truth of you being loved, you being worthy of you being worthy of love in a strong, committed partnership, of you being meant for this transcendent journey with another person, and learn 100% to reach out. Some of you may want to go watch Tarot with Tay's most recent video. And I say that because with this reach out card, it's got these hands like this. And she literally referenced this card without realizing this was the card she was referencing, because she kept talking about this hand motion, and it's right here. So I am going to try to remember to link that down below for you guys. But that just popped into my head, that reading. But that does it talks really very similarly to this. However, with this, what we're talking about is this full moon in Aries, this romance, this love area that we're focusing on, your love, the love that you have for yourself, but also in commitments, in partnerships, in friendships. This is like universally connections related. These are all coming into a new metamorphosis. They're coming into a new phase, a new stage. And it's because of you. Please know, like, more than anything, what I'm picking up is this is all because of the stuff that you've been doing, the work that you've done for yourself and for others. The biggest thing that you have to do here is release anything, any doubts, any fears, any insecurities, any worries that have been holding you back. Remember, your energy is so focused right now on abundance mindset. And abundance mindset is not just about money. It's about knowing the wealthiness of love, knowing how prosperous you can be in every aspect of your life. Prosperity can be seen as having a very clean house on a regular basis for some people. That I'm a Cancerian, that's what I love. I love my house being clean. I love it. I have progressed placements in Virgo. I love organization. Like, I can't tell you guys enough. But what I'm saying here for you guys especially is this abundance mindset that you're working on. It has to do with everything in your life. Everything in your life. The second you step into your power and start speaking your truth, definitive truth, unabashed truth, that's when everything is going to change. Now, I'm going to tell you, we have an abundance of 1s and 6s on the board here. There's 15, which reduces to a 6, 15, which reduces to a 6, another 6 here. There's 36, which has a 6 and a 3, but It reduces to 9. So you've got 3, 6, and 9. So some of you may have been from my other video because that came through really strongly as well, but that's been repeating in the collective. But then we've got 29 with 11, and that was a repeating as well. So I want you guys to think about what these numbers mean to you. For me, we're talking about your solar plexus chakra. We are talking about your throat chakra, your third eye chakra, and we're talking about your soul star chakra. These in especially. We're talking about these higher realms, higher levels, higher awareness, expansion in ways that you may not have experienced before. So if you get this feeling of like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Make sure that you ask for help, please. But this is your Phoenix rising moment. This is when you come into this beautiful balance and this beautiful harmony by actually speaking truths out so that real healing can happen because you've learned to master yourself. You've learned to master these emotional impulses. Now it's time for the right actions. The right actions will lead to the right results every single time moving forward when you step out of doubt and into trust. All right, Libras, we are going to move on to the third quarter moon in Cancer, which is in your 10th house and your career focus. So I'm going to pause it, clear it, and then we'll be right back. All right, we are back. And I saw 51 on the clock. So we have that reversal of the 15s. I love this. I love this synchronicity for you guys because this is a bunch of change and a bunch of newness coming in. So we are now moving into October 17th, like I mentioned before, with the third quarter moon in Cancer and the 10th house. So this is your last phase through your season of Libra. Now the third quarter moon actually had a lot more energy, a lot more healing. This is all career focused for you guys. So as I'm going through the collective energies, I want you to really think about how this is going to play out in terms of your career, your reputation, the place in which you're looking for success within your life in the outside world. So this is a moon phase in which we're finding soul harmony with Jupiter and Neptune. So we're learning how to collectively have an inner expansion of self-compassion and our psychic gifts. This is done through the ease of accepting our own uniqueness. It breaks the tension of the imbalanced focus on love, which is not heart-centered. I don't mean that love isn't heart-centered. I mean, it breaks the focus of love that isn't coming from the heart. We can have a very imbalanced sense of love. It just happens. But this is a lot about learning those emotional undercurrents which create the illusions of the self versus union in harmony and balance in love, which is based upon lies and fallacies of subjugational structures holding the divine feminine back from truly unifying with the divine masculine. Now, the key factors here is really communication from spirit, intuition and psychic insights. You may feel, like physically feel these things in your heart and your higher heart chakras. And as you open yourself to feeling these things, that's when balance comes in. Hi, we have Willow. And if you have been on my channel for a while, you know she's like the mascot. What? Do you want to come and say hi? Yeah? Come here. Want uppies? Come in. Come here. She's like, no, Mom, I want you to come and play. I'm going to play with her for just a minute and then we'll get back into it. Okay, my lovely Libras, I am back. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for your guys' patience with this pause and go and whatnot. I know that for you guys, the video is just kind of like, I'm going to be right back and then I'm back. But I really appreciate you guys understanding, like when I say I'm going to be right back, that like I genuinely have to go and take time out to be with my babies. We are talking, let's get back into it. We're talking about this third quarter moon in Cancer, and this is about your career, your reputation out in the world. This is the face that you bring out into the world, and we are learning how to unify the divine masculine and divine feminine. We want to find healing through this third quarter moon, through a kind of release, a dissemination of the seeds. The wisdoms that you have gained through Virgo season, through Libra season, now is the time where it's the pinnacle moment for you to share these insights, these awarenesses, these lessons, these truths that you've learned, this healing that you've done, this massive radical transformation that you have done, Libra. Now is the time for you to share it with the world in whatever way feels the most comfortable for you. Because you have Cancer in your 10th house, this is about how you share it, not just like with your family or in your home life, which is the common association with Cancer, but how you step into a state of loyalty to yourself, coming out of that shell by knowing that you are protected and you are meant to share this softer, gentler, nurturing energy, knowing that you still carry that hard shell, knowing that you have that protection, and showing the world how to work with that. Some of you may love interior design. Some of you may love cooking, baking, cleaning, creating things around the house. When I think about my Cancerian energy, I think about the ways in which I love to paint walls. I love to rearrange furniture. I love to decorate. I love to do things like this. I love the aesthetic nature of things. That's something that would really help you a lot in whatever area of your life you consider your career, or even just where you come out into the world to be seen as a success. And if you guys can hear me sipping, I'm drinking some coffee because, you know, it's caffeine, but also it helps keep me grounded as I'm working through these energies. So healing here, and this is going to be crazy, because when I looked at this and when this message came through, I am telling you, it was complete oppositional to what I expected to hear or see or experience. So Spirit took me completely out of my comfort zone last night with this. But today, from October 17th through October 23rd, that even longer, because I think it's the 25th, maybe the 26th. Somewhere in that area is when we have the next new moon, and that would be the new moon in Scorpio. So from October 17th until the new moon in Scorpio, which is an eclipse, we are working with this specific energy. The message that came through is healing can be found through fueling creative, inspirational solutions of communicative action through utilizing Mars in Gemini. Right words, right inspiration, pure motivation, spiritual elevation of awareness. All of this is for the healing of the divine masculine in such a huge way through breaking the inner divine feminine free. So I only half know what this means, but I'm getting this image of like our inner divine masculine and inner divine feminine are just kind of locked up. And the divine masculine really needs the divine feminine out. But the divine feminine doesn't know that she can get out because she's afraid of it. There's fear here. So with you guys, especially because we're working through Cancer collectively, but Cancer is your 10th house. Libras, you can actually set the tone for this for the world. And you can do it in a way that is so balanced and so harmonious and so true to yourself that it literally, you have the ability here to change the world. Like just cut and dry. So let's take a look at the cards for your career and see what guidance Spirit has for you moving forward with this third quarter moon energy. We have the card 26, which reduces to an 8, and it has numbers. And then we've got Metatron's cube on here. We've got the last quarter moon in Aries. Work through your feelings. The card 6 with angelic assistance, divine guidance, and loving support. Wow, guys. Oh, man. Your energies this energy just changed completely. And we do have a third quarter or a last quarter moon. 26 with conscious steps, another 26. This is so unbelievably synchronistic. Considered action looking forward. Remember what I said, right? What was it? Right words, right inspiration, pure motivation, spiritual elevation of awareness, right actions, right results. And then the one who waits, Manara, patience, waiting, and determination. I am going to get your tarot cards right away too. Then we have the King of Bones or the King of Wands, the Knight of Goblets or the Knight of Cups, and the Chariot. Wow. Holy buckets, you guys. Okay. So remember what I said about when we accept our own uniqueness, we're breaking the tension of that imbalanced focus on love that isn't heart-centered. This is telling me very strongly that number one, when you're ready to take the right action, when you're ready to when you have the right words and the right inspiration, you're going to feel it everywhere. You're going to see it in numerical form. You're going to see the numbers all flow together and harmonize together. You're going to see it physically in your entire world. But the King of Bones to me is talking about, this is Metatron from Supernatural. This is the Supernatural deck. Metatron is the storyteller. So whereas he's like in the show, he's not the greatest. But I want you to think about Metatron and being a storyteller. This is you telling the story your way. Some of you may actually want to be authors. That I think because I'm an author, I really attract a lot of people who have that artistic inclination. Just because being an author in this day and age, there are so many people who do it, but it's really a dog-eat-dog world out there. And it's really important to understand that when it's something that's true to your heart, there is help for it everywhere. So, and I do know that I have some friends who are Libras that are going to watch this and who are actual authors. So please, use your intuition, guys, because I see it. Can you see it? Because what I'm seeing here is for those of you who are doing things like that, when it comes from a genuine place of goodness of the heart, everything aligns and there is success. When I see this work through your feelings, because we're talking about your career, and especially with the Chariot underneath it, I want to talk to you guys about these right here. So the Chariot is I'm going to take it out of the context of tarot. We're going to look at the Chariot in terms of the car itself. It's a 1967 Chevy Impala. And with this is literally Sam and Dean's home. It is their home. It's their safe space. It's their portal to this, that, and the other thing. It is the one thing that they will watch get destroyed and rebuilt and rebuild it every time. There was actually literally an entire scene where they talked about how important this car is to these boys. And it's not about the fact that it's a car. It's about the memories, the things that it contains within it. Now, when I'm seeing work through your feelings with this Chariot, this is literally about you define what your home is. You define what your work is. You define how you do this. You are the storyteller. And you have been waiting for a very long time to tell your story, whatever story it is. I'm actually I have such a strong authorial energy with you guys right now. If that doesn't resonate, trust me, I understand that. So this is how do you tell your story? How do you define what your truth is? How do you define your home? How do you find your home within yourself? There's angels literally everywhere here that are going to be guiding you through this time frame. Because like I said, the energy, the message that I picked up is you guys have the capacity, the ability, and the calling here to change the world. And it's going to come in whatever way it comes. I want you guys to think about your favorite children's book. Okay. So one of my favorite like kid books, like picture books when I was a kid, was Put Me in the Zoo. And it's this kind of like monster that has spots on it, and its spots can change colors, and then they can be taken off, and they can be made bigger or made smaller, and they can rain down, and it was like magic. And he kept saying, put me in the zoo, put me in the zoo. This is where I belong in the zoo. Please put me in the zoo. This is like, let me show you everything that I can do because I want to be in the zoo. Okay. But the zoo would have been too constricting. It would have held them back. Put him behind a cage and relegate him to only certain amount of times and only certain amount of things he can do, and he doesn't get the interactions. And so him being in the zoo just wasn't right for him, and it just kept being a no. And then it was put me in the circus, and that's where he found his home because he could perform, he could be himself. Okay, this is just a children's book, of course, but do you see the energy here? This is about you understanding that there is a time where you were working through, put me in the zoo, and now it's put me in the circus, put me where I belong, put me where I can excel, put me where I am the best. And as you do that, you're going to be working through the feelings of this truth of yourself, this feeling of, I know exactly where I'm going and what I'm meant to do, and I'm going to take the steps that I need to take moving forward because I am the storyteller of my life. I am moving from a place of genuine, good, passionate nature. I know my worth. I know who I am, and I know I'm a very good person. And I know that I have a home wherever I'm at because I have angelic assistance. I have the help that I need. And now I'm going to work through my heart center in everything that I do. And you've been patient long enough, and you have done this for a very long time. And the reason why I mention all of this is because this is literally the energy that I have just recently experienced in my own life. And so I can tell you definitively, there are things that we do that we don't realize can change the world, that we never even think about it. When I published my Uranus retrograde guidebook, I have never felt the energy of a planet wanting their messages out in the world more than Uranus. I have never felt an energy more willing to come forth than this one planet, this planet that nobody can really predict. I couldn't even predict it. All I could do was channel the messages and the energies. It was literally like I kept feeling this, put me in the world, put me in the world, put me in the world. And I kept trying to narrow it down and structure it how I wanted to. And I couldn't do it. So I needed to break myself out of it. When I did that, when I published that book, it changed something. I don't know what, but I could feel the change. You have this ability to do that. You are born innately with this ability. It's imbued in your energy. And not just that, but remember, you have learned this mastery. The full moon has taught you the mastery. So now all your energy has really, truly settled into this definitive, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm meant to do. And even though we have so many cards here that are very like grounded and emotionally centered, this is become, you can almost feel the Capricorn energy here, the natural Capricorn energy who rules the 10th house. You can almost feel it in a way that you're learning how to discipline yourself in the workforce, in what you want, knowing that you're making the right moves forward because you're moving from the heart now. And that's where you find your ultimate success, Libra, is from the heart. So I'm going to clear these off real quick, and I'm not actually going to pause it to clear them just because I want to pull a couple of closing cards for you guys. We're going to put the abundance right here. So this is my like super mega deck. So thank you to everybody who does a mega deck and has inspired me. Genuinely, this came from one of Aso Tarot's videos that made me giggle so hard because she was like, you guys will never believe I was up in the middle of the night and I had this massive inspiration for mega deck. Because when I combine these, it was literally the middle of the night and Spirit's like, let's do this. My camera shifted, so I'm just going to shift it over just a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right. So, Spirit, do we have some closing messages for Libra? I feel like I dumped so much on you guys, and I knew that these readings were going to be this way because that's kind of how it works when we're working through all of the moon energies. Like I said, I'm going to timestamp everything, but make sure that you go back and Spirit's actually showing me people like writing notes. Whatever resonates, really hold on to that. And it's 1:11:11 on the clock just now. So this is really like, you guys are really, really transforming here. And I just feel like I want to hug you guys so much because I know you just came out of a 12th house season and I know how challenging those can be. So we've got that one and these two, and let's grab that chakra card. Okay, on the back, we have the 17 in house. So, I mean, we were just talking about the Chariot and that being a home, but this could be about, you know how I mentioned, something that really calms me down is cleaning my house. Something that really, I love organizing and cleaning that really helps my Cancerian energy. But sometimes we get really caught up in the game of house, the game of life, the game of what we think that we have to do. And I say game because this house card literally has so many, it's like looking at Monopoly and looking at the game of life at the same time. And this card talks about like, okay, you're going to buy a house. You know what? You guys might buy a house. If you've been saving for a house, now is the right time to do that. If you have been planning something as far as your house goes, now is a good time to do that. However, remember that sometimes it comes down to understanding that it doesn't have to be a competition and it doesn't have to be this battle of I have to roll the dice the right way or something like that. I don't know why that's coming through, but I think somebody needed to hear that, where getting a house doesn't have to be a challenge, but it's not really a board game either. So if you really surrender to Spirit and say, Spirit, help me figure this out, help me find the right steps, and surrender to that. Watch as you start like Googling things and gaining awarenesses and knowing the things that you're meant to do. There's a huge energy here of real trust here. All right. So we have aura and observation, 25 and nature, astrology and destiny, and 27 with psychic development. Okay. So in closing, Spirit wants you to be really aware of the observations that you make, but be aware of your own auric field. Spiritual baths, salt baths. For me, what I do, I take a spiritual shower every day. And when I do that, I actually call in the elements and use the directions that I feel called to with them. I call in the elements and then I welcome Spirit. And then I essentially ask for the elements to work their magic within my auric field, within my energy field, my emotional field, my mental field, and within my actual physical body. And then I welcome Spirit into my awareness and into my personal space and into my heart and my soul. And I say, can you please teach me, share with me, commune with me, let's work together. It's a really great way of working with nature. You're working with the actual natural elements. But you can also go out and get into nature and observe what happens to your own energy as you get out into nature more. And with this astrology and destiny card, it does really make sense for why that's popping up, especially for this reading, because we're talking about learning a new way of working with the astrology, working with the moon phases, working with the seasonal changes, working with the placements within your own personal chart and helping those and using these things to help you develop. So as you're working on this underlying abundance mindset and abundance way of living, understand that you have a home within yourself and that your home within yourself is also a home for spirit. And that's just natural to who you are. So Libras, I really hope that you found a plethora of information and awareness. I hope these messages resonated. If they did, if you find that they really helped you, please let me know down in the comment section below what resonated, how does it work. Reach out to other Libra risings, because the more solidarity, the more support we have, the better it is. I am a huge proponent of networking and community. So the more that you guys interact on my channel with each other, the more you'll see that you have people who really do genuinely understand you in a time in which we all struggle to understand ourselves. So please feel free to like this video, share it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. That way you get notified for all my upcoming videos or anytime I post again. And Libras, thank you so much for kicking off the season, for enduring everything that you do, and for being who you are, because without your balance and your harmony within the energies, we would all be off kilter all the time. So thank you so much, Libras. You are amazing, and I love you all. Bye.